Let's get ready for a test drive. That's better. What's up, everyone? This is Barry with Badass Classics, and that's my 71 Cuda. We were going to go for a ride right now, but it wasn't running that great. So I was trying to nurse it and keep the throttle going, but I noticed my choke would not open, and it's an electric choke. But I noticed that little prong right there doesn't have any juice. And it was connected with one of these. There's all kinds of, as you can see, aftermarket stuff on here. So, quagmire of wiring, but these old clips, that one is like a black and blue and yellow, and that one's a blue and black. Neither of those have juice with power on. So, that's why our choke's not opening. So, I went in search of those wires on my wiring diagram, and I can't really find what those go to or what they used to go to if that's original color wiring. So I backtracked a little bit trying to find something I could plug into that might have juice, and this little fella right here is a green wire that goes into the firewall. I'm not sure you can see it or not there, but that green wire doesn't go through the bulkhead connectors, and it goes up into somewhere in that harness up there. So I got to looking on my harness diagram here, and these are great to have if any of you guys have old cars and you're fussing with old wiring and stuff, which we always are with these cars. As long as you got the original harness, these are usually pretty accurate with their color designation. You got everything here on one page. These are laminated sheets that you can get on eBay and get it from classiccarwiring.com. So that will help you out in trying to track down some of this stuff a lot of times. So it looks like, I see this green wire here has a grommet in there, so that tells me that it probably goes to the firewall. That green wire goes to the road lamps, which this car is coded for, but it does not have any. Hence why that may be unplugged right there. We confirmed that it does have juice with key on in the run position. And so let's see what kind of juice we have voltage-wise. 12.1. That is plenty to run my choke. Let's do some wiring and see what we got. So I gotta dig in my trusty drawer. I believe one of these will fit in there just right and be snug. So we'll try that. I think that'll work just fine. Gonna kind of roughly measure out just how much I need here. Isn't wiring fun? Not really. Oh, you know what? I should probably turn that ignition off first. So now I can stick that right in there to kind of gauge where I'm going. Well, probably should do it from the other side because I gotta go behind that distributor. I think I'll just put a piece of electrical tape on that connection just to keep it snug for a second while we route our wire here. Oh, I guess I need the training class on how to use electrical tape. Got the basic routing of the wire. Oh. And I think about right here will be just fine. Now, where's my clippers? No turning back now. Also need one of these little guys. Make sure it clips on there okay. Yep, that's the right size. Get our strippers and our crimpers. this in. Right way the first time. Check our fit. You know what? That might be fatter than the first one I tried. Let's see. Oh yeah. It's kind of fatty, isn't it? Should have put this other one on, but I think we have plenty of wire length to do that. Give her a snip. And another strip. Ah! Dinner bell. That's a good fit. Snaps in there. Although, it's kind of on the top of my ignition wires. Don't really want that. So we'll just go underneath them so I can route it better. There we go. Now with key on and run position, let's see if we have juice there. And I do not. Let me check something. We should. That's a straight piece of wire. What's going on? It's a simple thing. You should have juice. I just plugged you in. Let's check our connection on the other side. Kind of funky. Good connection on that. So it's gonna be the plug in on this side. Let's see if I can crimp it just a hair. Get a snugger fit. I'm gonna put some contact grease on there too. Let's see if that makes it happy. Because if it's happy, I'm happy. Why aren't you lighting? What is your problem? The more I do, the less it likes it. Alright, what's going on? Come here, Mr. Probe. And suddenly I don't have juice on that. What is happening? Test light works. What's going on? Oh, always wiring. Does that juice not like going to ground? Well, juice is meant to go to ground through something. Yeah, there's not even a trickle of light going on there now. Am I back to square one? So I'm not sure why I suddenly lost power in that green wire. It's interesting, but I did see in my fuse box that I had a blown 20 amp fuse. I do have another one I'm gonna put back in there, and that one actually goes to a different wire that didn't have juice in here. That one right there. So I'm not sure why that fuse blew, because it wasn't blown several weeks ago when I replaced the turn signal switch harness. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna see if we got juice there, see if it doesn't blow a fuse, and see what we got. So I replaced that fuse, and apparently it does not go to that because I don't have any juice, but apparently it did go to the wire I was using, and for some reason that blew a fuse by connecting to that 12 volt to my choke. So we're gonna turn off our juice for the moment. reattach this and see what happens. All right, before I even look at that test light, I'm gonna see if it blew this fuse or not. Oh, so fun to crawl under these cars. So far, no. It's that little accessory one with the 20 amp on the right hand side, second from top. So far, so good. So we're gonna come over here to our choke. Hey, look at that. I got a light. That means I'll have choke power. Now we can start her up. Let's see where our choke is. Hey, look at that. Our choke works. Glory to God. And set right about there. Just a little bit back here. We're going to go with that, see how she runs. And of course, it's always good to check your air pressure when you haven't done it in a while. And it gets cold in this garage, and the temperature has dropped a lot lately, so it's good to check it after a temperature drop. And we're going to try this little fellow out I got from a buddy of mine. Instead of having to fill up my beast back here that I usually use. But we're going to see how this guy does today. And the all-important ride height, we needed just a little more than that, because we like that day 2 70s look. Not enough butt on this one to adjust that. I wonder if I can lift up with my legs on suspension. No. And this keeps dying. This battery's sucking these things. Well, I guess that's the right height we're getting today. Got a strange little give at the end of the clutch pedal when I release it. Kind of has a little pop to it. It's not really ever done that before. I know I do have I need to get into this transmission. I have some kind of rattle when rattle in the trans when my foot's not on the clutch, but as soon as I barely put my foot on the clutch, it quits. Like a bearing in there. I think it's the main shaft bearing. I'm not sure. I don't like this little pop that's suddenly at the end of my clutch. It didn't used to do that. Always something. We're gonna get down the road here and get us some decent gas without ethanol in it. Fill her up and put some stable in it, since it's about winter time now. Probably one of the last nice days we'll have. It's in the 50s today. It's 30s all last week, and it's going to be 30s again here in a day or two. Not really fun to drive these old cars in cold weather. I think I got the timing a little bit better in this thing now. It starts up better and seems to pull better. Really took it a long time to start today, though. It's cranking forever on it. I don't like having to do that, but
really running rough when it first started. I changed the fuel filter out again too. It was already in this car when I got it. So I'm not sure how many miles it has on it or how dirty it is. It seems to be running pretty good right now with the choke fixed. At least my choke horn's open. Getting some airflow in there. That's always good. Let's see if our new turn signals work. Those on the dash at least. Hopefully the guy behind me can see it. Hopefully I have brake lights too, because I sure as don't want to get rear-ended in this thing. Last time I checked, it had all pertinent lights. I think it does today too, since that guy didn't rear-end me. Almost forgot I was in my shift car for a second. Made a turn and tried to keep going and forth. That's your other Cuda bearing. 71 doesn't have that. Ugh. Curvy, bumpy country road back here. There's just something about a Mopar pistol grip shifter going through those gears. Never knew I needed one in my life until I had one. Now I want every car to be a 4-speed. We're gonna have to find out what that popping is in the clutch pedal. I don't like that. Yeah, grind it a little bit. I need a sink gear in first. Gotta almost come to a complete stop to put it in first. Had to cross over some railroad tracks there. Coming up on a spot on this road where I found one of my Civil War Union belt plates. Don't know if you guys knew that about me, but I was an avid metal detector for several years, and I've kind of got a whole room with relics, Civil War relics, and I live in a really Civil War rich area, so it's really fun to detect around here. So I found several belt plates and cartridge belt plates, and all Union though. I really wish I could find a Confederate one. Really haven't detected much in the past couple of years, even though I bought my dream detector. Really haven't put it through much of its paces since I've gotten it. Really need to do that, but there's just so many other things to do. Cars being one of the hobbies, music being another one of them. Just got a decent computer where I can actually do music production now. I've got thousands of riffs and semi-songs, partial songs recorded, but never really taken the time to get a good computer and software to really bring them all together. And figured now's the time, because I'm not getting any younger. I'd really like to get some of my music production done. So, there's that. Probably hear that clunk in the clutch when I first engage it. First it was when I only released. Now it's when I engage it too. Hopefully it's just a little bushing or something. I don't know what's going on there. Well, it didn't do it that time. Maybe it's just cold. All these little plastic parts and bushings and stuff that are temperature sensitive. Here, get the RPMs up a little more. Come on, truck in front of me. Come on. lot of times I just don't think about making a video when I'm working on cars. I know I should record all that content. It's probably beneficial to someone, or lots of someone's. So I'll try to do that more. All right, let's get the good stuff. It's only 98 octane, but at least it's ethanol free. And we're off again. But you're still popping. I hate annoying sounds. Seems to ride smoother today for some reason. I wonder if someone changed my suspension while I wasn't looking. This thing has some pinion noise too. It kind of comes and goes. I think whoever messed with this rear at some point didn't do the crush sleeve properly. You gotta get those pinions just right or they'll make noise on you. It hasn't gotten any worse since I've been driving it, but I haven't put a whole lot of miles on it since I bought it. But I'm just gonna keep an ear on it. Not one of those things I really want to do on my back, and if I don't need to. Stop popping! Ask me, would you turn that corner any sharper into my front end? Train tracks. I had a different carburetor on this car when I first got it. As far as I know, it had that same wire hooked up to the choke. This engine really doesn't seem to... the engine really didn't seem to pull that hard as it should, even for if this car was stock, which I think it's had a little bit done to the motor. I'm going to look up the specs again. I'm wondering if that choke was only partially open on the old carb as well as the whole time I've had this newer one. That would explain a lot. Because it seems to want to go better. Got a little bit of brake squeal too, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that right now. I know it has decent brake shoes. I may just have to put a bevel on them, get them shut up. It's so nice having a working turn signal now. It worked before, but the little tab on the cam, you know what I'm talking about, Mopar people, had broken, so I had to hold it in that position. At least when I was turning right. Worked fine and left. Now I have both of them hands-free. Hooray! I'm gonna run over that cute little doggy. That was a little pit bull puppy. Get some good fuel in it. I'll see if you can hear what I'm talking about on this transmission. Probably just hear exhaust, but in my tranny. It's a bearing of some sort, because like I said, it shuts up as soon as you touch the pedal, even a little bit. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my little wiring deal to fix my choke, and hope I entertained you a little bit. But until next time, thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Oh, I do have some macaque footage coming up. I've just been really busy. I've just got tons of footage to go through to try to get something decent. But we'll get that up for you too. All right, see you later. And just as an afterthought, here's my old turn signal I was telling you about, harness and all. So if any of you Mopar guys have never done one of these before and you still have your signal but it won't stay in position, you're probably missing that little piece right there, because that's what keeps it held in on that little lip over there. As you can see, well, that little part actually, that's just the follower, but you can see down there, if I can get this in, let me see if I can do this with one hand. If you can see down this little area here, it grabs that wall, this little piece here, so it stays in position. Notice both of these on the top are gone. It's just old plastic. They do what they do. I had to replace the whole harness because I got just this part where you could wire in. See, it's actually hardwired in there, but you had to splice into your old one to replace just this one. But the remanufactured one was just different enough on the back side. Oh, it's actually right here, because I still have it wired. I just put that piece back on. But these little arms are just different enough that they would not contact the contacts behind this thing. I think the little arm right here on each side needs to be just a hair longer, and it doesn't work like that. But as soon as I put the old one in, it would work. So I just got a whole new harness, and yeah. So that's how you do it with the if you get one that actually works. But they all look, every one I looked at online looked exactly like that. I don't know if there's only one aftermarket manufacturer or what, but as you can see, redid the wiring and stuff, but it just would not work because of those. So hopefully that helps you. See you later.